The story begins at a busy railway station. Norman, a man in his early 60s, had found his train, but somehow he couldn't find his reserved coach. Just then, a young woman suddenly called out behind him, "Papa." Norman turned in shock, only to realize it was a mistake. The girl quickly apologized. She was young, radiant, and strikingly beautiful. Her name was Sophia. Coincidentally, both were headed to the same city on the same train. Out of kindness, Sophia offered to help Norman, but he refused. Trust didn't come easy at his age. As the train started moving, Sophia tried again, but in her clumsy attempt, she accidentally hurt Norman. All he wanted was a quiet journey. That's why he had booked a private cabin. A little later, the train entered a dark tunnel. In the silence, Norman felt someone placing luggage inside his cabin. It was Sophia. She explained nervously, "My cabin is full of boys. I felt unsafe, so I came here." Norman wasn't pleased. To him, she was reckless, maybe even disrespectful. To Sophia, he was just a grumpy old man, probably jealous of her youthful charm. Their bickering slowly melted into conversation. Sophia revealed she was a nurse, someone who loved taking care of people. Norman, with his calm voice, told her he was a retired railway engineer. His stories were rich, layered, full of wisdom, and Sophia listened with fascination, leaning closer, her eyes sparkling. Norman was traveling for an important business meeting. Sophia was going to meet her fiancé. Hours slipped away unnoticed in their warm conversations. By the time they reached the city, they were no longer strangers, they were something more. After parting ways, fate intervened again. At Norman's meeting, Sophia appeared. Her fiancé hadn't shown up, so she decided to wait there. Later that evening, Norman faced trouble with his hotel booking. Sophia stepped in, offering help. Reluctantly, Norman followed her to her hotel, but it was fully booked too. The only choice left? Stay in her room. Norman resisted. She was too young, too beautiful, too different. But Sophia insisted. That night, they shared dinner, laughter, and finally, the same bed. Norman, restless, tried to keep his distance. Yet Sophia teased him playfully, her warmth breaking his barriers. He struggled with his emotions, but somehow managed to hold back. The next morning, Sophia's fiancé John stormed into the room, catching them together. Misunderstandings exploded. Norman, humiliated, quietly left. Outside, he overheard Sophia and John arguing bitterly, realizing Sophia was far more complicated than he thought. Back in his hometown, Norman longed to share everything with his wife Maria, a strong, understanding woman dedicated to social work. Norman expected jealousy. Instead, Maria listened calmly, even laughing at parts of his story. Their marriage was built on deep trust. But destiny wasn't done. One evening, Sophia appeared at Norman's home, broken and alone. Her engagement had ended. She confessed, "I don't want someone young. I want you. I like being with you." Norman tried to resist, but Sophia's presence was magnetic. Maria, wise and selfless, saw Norman's confusion. She gently encouraged him to spend time with Sophia, believing he deserved happiness, even if she couldn't always give him her time. Slowly, Norman and Sophia began a secret affair. They traveled together, laughed, danced, even shared intimate moments Norman hadn't experienced in years. But happiness was short-lived. One day, Norman discovered a devastating truth. Sophia had married again, not John, but John's wealthy father. She wasn't searching for love. She was chasing excitement, newness, and luxury. Norman's heart shattered. He returned home broken, weeping in Maria's arms. Yet Maria reminded him gently, "Sometimes people enter our lives not to stay, but to teach us how to live again." Norman realized Sophia never truly loved him. But she had given him something priceless. She reminded him how to feel alive, how to smile, how to embrace the fleeting beauty of life. And with that thought, his story ended, not in regret, but in a bittersweet kind of peace. Thank you for watching. If you felt the emotions of Norman's journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional Hollywood stories in English. See you in the next video.